ordinary time. But in our country, the bishops have declared this a day of prayer for the legal protection of unborn children. This morning during Mass, I celebrated a Mass in Thanksgiving, giving thanks to God for human life. So today is the day that's set aside for this prayer because today is the anniversary of the Roe versus Wade Supreme Court decision granting legal access to abortion in our country. And so that was in 1973. So we're 48th anniversary. So it's a day that we set aside for prayer and, if possible, I guess penance for the sin of abortion in our country. I know that, I know this year that normally today would be the March for Life, although I don't know with the inauguration taking place this week if it would have been transferred to another day. But because of COVID and restrictions at the Capitol, it's going to be a virtual march, I think, next Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Just like everything else in this time of COVID, everything gets kind of changed up a little bit or has to be adapted to our current circumstances. But one of the things I thought about was my kind of memories of going to the March for Life. I've been there a couple times. I've been to DC a handful of times, so I'm not positive how many times I was there just for the March for Life. But it's always kind of an interesting experience. I'll put it. I don't know how to explain it. I've described it as bittersweet at times. There's a lot of positive energy when you're there. I mean, it's a huge crowd of people. And a lot of young people. So there's this youthful energy and, this, I guess, feeling of being part of something bigger than yourself. And so on the mall, that's where everybody gathers, and they'll have different speakers at that point. And then the march kicks off from there and goes up and marches up to the front of the Supreme Court building. And I think the years I've been there, the march has maybe started at different places. And on the mall, I think maybe they give the march a certain section of the mall. Sometimes it might be a little bit further away, so the march is a little longer. Other times it might be a little bit shorter because of the location on the mall that's a little bit closer to Capitol Hill and the Supreme Court building. But it's, like I said, there's always kind of this very festive atmosphere, like I said, which is nice. It's also, too, I think, very kind of prayerful. It always seems to be predominantly Catholic, so there's a little bit of that, too. I think part of that festive atmosphere is the fact that, like I said, there's this great feeling of that you're not alone in doing anything pro-life. Sometimes doing it in our local communities, whether it's praying in front of an abortion clinic or making a holy hour, whatever it is, sometimes it's very small groups that we're doing that with. So to be there with thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, there is this just great feeling that there's something positive happening here. But there's also, too, that's why I always kind of describe it as bittersweet, is because the reason that we're there is that, unfortunately, their unborn infants in the womb are being killed. And so it's unfortunate that we have to go and do that, but it's something that we continue to do now for 48 years. I know that the thing that the very first time I went, I think I was a seminarian when I went the first time, that really kind of struck me as a little bit odd is you have this very organized rally down on the mall, and the march itself is very well organized, and everybody's going together. And you do have your fringe elements usually towards the sidewalks in a variety of ways. But you get up to Supreme Court building, then there's security out in front. You don't go into the Supreme Court building. You just go out on the sidewalk in front, and it's just, and then that's it. I mean, there's not, because people just kind of stream up. And I think we always would stop and pray a decade of the Rosary, and then head back to the buses or wherever it was that we were going. Sometimes two people will go and visit with their senators and congressmen. But yeah, it's just, there's no kind of official end to it, which is understandable that there can't really be. But it's just, I don't want to say it's anticlimactic, but it's just a strange kind of experience of, having this well organized kind of march, and once you get to the point where you're supposed to get for the march, there is really nothing that can be organized at that point. But like I said, it's always a very kind of positive experience to witness with that many people to the sanctity of human life, and hopefully it's always then to a boost to work for the sanctity of human life, to help with places like in our area, Heartbeat, that reach out to women who are pregnant and give them that alternative if they feel that they're not prepared for this child, that we offer that assistance so that abortion does not become an option that seems feasible, or they're not an option that needs to be taken. And also, too, we lobby our representatives because they represent us, and we want them to protect human life. We vote for pro-life candidates. We try to get our government to legally recognize that, what it says in the Declaration of Independence, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that, well, the first one there is life. And unfortunately, there's too many lives that are not able to pursue liberty or the pursuit of happiness because they're never given a chance to really get going, that their life is ended still in the womb. So, today's a Friday. That if you're used to offering some sacrifice of not eating meat or extra prayers or something like that, maybe even up it a little bit today, asking God to first for forgiveness for our country, for this stain on it, but also to help us to witness to that great gift of life that He has given us, and to help us to protect life from conception, from life in the womb, all the way to natural death. So we'll pray that God will help us to be strong witnesses for life in our communities and in our world. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Our weekend schedule is the normal one we've had. There'll be confessions tomorrow afternoon from 3 to 4:15 at St. John's, and then followed by Mass at 4:30. On Sunday, there's confessions at St. Michael's from 8 to 8:30 a.m., and then Mass at 8:45 at St. Michael's, and then our 10:30 Mass at St. John's on Sunday. So hope everyone